All right, welcome, good evening. What an absolutely beautiful day it's been. We've certainly had the weather angels looking out for us this afternoon. I hope you've all had a chance to mix and mingle and have a good yarn. I saw that there was lots of conversation already happening, and there'll be plenty of opportunity throughout the evening to continue the conversations flowing on. It's a very special evening that we've been able to come together for, and we've got a lot to celebrate tonight, so I'm very excited to get stuck into it. So with all of that said, I would like to officially welcome you to the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll Ceremony. My name is Megan Waters. I am a Warramungu Yaru woman. I grew up on Larrakia country, which is where I consider home, but I'm so grateful to have found a second home here in Naarm over the last 13 years. So it really is such an honour to share this evening with all of you, and I feel very grateful to have the opportunity to be your MC for the evening. I would like to start by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, who are the traditional custodians of the land where we are gathering here this evening. I'd like to take a moment to honour their ongoing connection to this community that extends back far beyond the colonisation of this country. I feel it's important that we recognise their continued connection to country through the land, seas and skies. And I'd like to take a brief moment to honour our ancestors for the path that they walked before us. I'd like to pay my respects with deep and heartfelt love to all elders past and present, and extend that to any First Nations people who are joining us here in the room this evening. I'd also like to make welcome some special guests with us here tonight, the Minister for Treaty and First Peoples, Natalie Hutchins MP, who will join me shortly up here on stage, the Parliamentary Secretary for First Peoples, Christine Cousins MP, Parliamentary Secretary for Climate Action, Sheena Watt MP, the incredible 11 Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll inductees and all past inductees since 2011, the Treaty Authority, the First Peoples Assembly of Victoria, the Yurok Justice Commission, CEOs and chairs of different Aboriginal organisations that are here joining us this evening, and all other distinguished guests who are joining us tonight as well. Before we continue with this evening's proceedings, I would like to welcome to the stage Wurundjeri Woiwurrung Elder Uncle Andrew Gardner to officially welcome us to this beautiful country.
Good evening, how are we? Good, thanks. Yes. It's one of our nights of the calendar, we're going to be a bit more upbeat. I just came from the First Peoples Assembly meeting down at Lakes Entrance. I'm a bit tired today because we had 2 fire alarms in the accommodation we were in, and it was early in the morning, so we had a late start and had a long drive. But I need to feel a bit upbeat with your excitement too. Good, thank you. So, Wominjeka. I'm a Wurundjeri man of the Wurrung people, and we acknowledge your way as our elders, as knowledge holders, cultural authority and wisdom. We believe in what they say as being the truth, as we had our oral history, we didn't have a written history, so we believed in what they said was true. Our elders tell us stories around campfires for thousands of years, generation after generation. They told stories to our young people so they'd be able to pass them on to the next generations. So, our traditional country is from the Werribee River in the west, the mouth of the Werribee River, along its flows up to its headwater in the Great Dividing Range, and then easterly across to Mount Borbor, south through Bunyip, and then across to Mordialloc Creek. So we believe in what our elders say is being true, and that's a story that we've been passed on for thousands of years. We didn't own land, we were custodians of land. We looked after it, and it looked after us. We only used resources of what we needed, and then we moved on. We're provided with food and shelter and other resources. We have been on this land for over 65,000 years. We're the longest living continuous culture in the world, something Australians should appreciate and acknowledge. So we've been on this landscape for many, many thousands of years. So from the tips of the leaves of the trees that we see around us to the roots in the ground, we share our country with you today. As we always do, we pay our respects to our elders, past, present and emerging. And to other elders here tonight, I say a particular welcome. So Wominjika. Wominjika is welcome in a general term. Wominjika Yemen Kundi Bik Wurundjeri Woiwurrung Balak means welcome to the traditional country, Bik, of the Wurundjeri clans, the Woiwurrung people. Ngodjin means thank you. I won't keep you from the events, but thank you very much for listening to me tonight.
Thank you so much to Uncle Andrew Gardner for welcoming us so warmly to this beautiful country and, of course, bringing the energy up as well, which we love. This year, we have lost several well-respected and prominent elders within the community, and their impact of their loss has been profound. Two of the elders we are here to actually honour tonight have also passed away, Auntie Barbara Day and Auntie Margaret Gardner. So I'd like to now just take this moment to invite all of us to just join me for a minute of silence to acknowledge their extreme contribution, but their passing as well. Thank you so much. The Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll formally recognises the outstanding achievements of Aboriginal people past and present. We are building an impressive list of inductees, and since 2011 we have inducted 139 Victorian Aboriginal people. Tonight we will honour 11 individuals. We pay tribute to them and celebrate the enormous impact that their actions have had on the lives of many, and I'm sure all of us in this room are here because of that. All in all, this is certainly an incredible and inspiring group of people. I'd like to acknowledge all the inductees who are no longer here with us. We pay our respects to their families and communities with whom their legacies lives on. Our first group of presentations will commence after the entertainment, which will be performed by Culture Evolves. But before they come up onto stage and get the entertainment underway, I will run through a few housekeeping points. Firstly, the toilets, which I'm sure you may have found on the way in, but they are just in the foyer outside the doors where we entered. Please note that there will be plenty of photos being taken throughout the evening, and if you're not comfortable with having your photo taken, please just let our amazing photographer Tiff know. The presentations and entertainment on the stage this evening will be live streamed, so any family or friends who could not be here with us tonight can watch from home. The link is on the First Peoples State Relations Facebook page, and we also have our incredible Auslan interpreters to the side of the stage and will also be available through the live stream. Please note although the balconies out there do look very inviting, it is a non-smoking venue. So please, if you do wish to smoke, you will be heading downstairs and outside to do so. Again, there'll be plenty of photo opportunities throughout the evening, opportunities to actually come up on stage and get photos with your families or outside in the media, with the media walls as well. And for those inductees that will be joining me on stage tonight, there is a bit of a step up here, so just please be very careful of that. I'm now very excited to introduce our first performance of the evening from Culture Evolves. Culture Evolves are a First Nations group that emphasises the value of social justice and social ecology in today's society through the lens of First Nations people. These stories are told using traditional Aboriginal dance, songs, law, and modern dance. So please put your hands together and join me in welcoming to the stage Culture Evolves.
Hello, how is everybody? Last the way. So I'd like to pay respects to the traditional owners of the land which we gathered today. So I'd like to extend that onto the Kulin Nation, Bunjil the creator, so all the resources from country which we get. I'd also like to pay respects to all you mob, you know, we're here to celebrate so deadly. Let's go. Go on, give yourself, let's go. So yeah, we are Culture Vols. I'm a proud Gunai Kurnai man and Yamaji Noongar on mum's side. It's an honour to be here today. Nan was actually inducted about 4 years or so ago. She's passed away now, so it's an honour to be here, part of your celebration, and to honour your elders and family members. I'm going to get the brothers just to, the first dance we're going to do is a creation, and then we're going to go into celebration, but I'll just let the brothers come up and introduce themselves.
G'day guys, my Wajala Gabba name is Dylan, but my traditional name, so I'm a proud Gunditjamara Yori Ora Jaja Warangman, also proud Wambwam, but also proud of my Māori heritage and my Native American Indian roots. But my traditional name is Boringu, so in Gunditjamara language it means spirit of the tree. But yeah, I'd just like to pay my respects to all you mob here, and thanks for having us. Cheers.
I'll keep mine short and sweet. My name is Philip Egan McCarthy. I'm a proud Māori Yori Yora man and also proud of being Tongan. I just want to say it's an honour to see all your mob here, and it's going to be deadly in seeing our elders and our future generations to follow in your footsteps. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody. If you danced up here, it'd be kangaroos, emus, and bunch in a zoo. We don't want that. Small stages doesn't feel right doing the, especially kangaroos roaming those big paddocks, the emus. But then when you've got a small space, like, what is this? But yeah, so this next dance we're going to do, hip-hop, culture sort of combined. One of the biggest things I realised, as a young kid, I sort of struggled with my words. I've got a lot better now. I've gotten older. The more I've learned culture, the more got confident. But I realised dance was one of my strongest tools of storytelling. So through dance, try to tell, the injustices of Aboriginal people, First Nations people, but not only that, our resilience, how we've overcome this, we've survived. And like one thing that blows my mind is Nan, like that generation, all the hate, but unconditional love just blows my mind. Like if anyone else was in that situation, they wouldn't be coming out that hard. But yeah, just a testament to our resilience. We survived, we're still here doing culture. They try to wipe it out, but we're here strong and they'll never get rid of us. Also, one last thing. So Brother Man's real deadly rappers too, Bonnangle and also Crooked TP. So yeah, go suss their music out. The last track is I produced my own music as well. This was with Narayan Riverboy, the last track which we'll be dancing to. But yo!
come from the land owns us, because it's the ancient one, not us. We're the children who come and go. The children who come and go.
Big rules.
As a solution to the Aboriginal problem. As a solution to the Aboriginal problem. Herd the worst of the Aborigines into one area and put a chemical in their water that sent them sterile. In time, there'd be none of them left.
I would dope the water up so that they were sterile and would breed themselves out in fish, and that would solve the problem.
And they decided that they better go and civilise these savages of ours. So they brought them into the towns, threw them in amongst the people.
All the things of the earth, all the things of the earth and in the sky have energy to be exploited. Even themselves, mining their spirits into souls sold. Into nothing is sacred, not even their self.
Your ancestors are watching over you. Your ancestors' strength lays within. Your ancestors' law lives within. The law of your mother, the law of the earth. Now protect your mother as your mother has given you life. Protect the waterways. Protect the forest. Protect your culture. Protect your law. For the next generation to come, as we have been doing so since the dreaming, since the beginning of time.
Everywhere we walk upon in this world, one indigenous group or another has want to live there before for thousands and thousands of years. Learn the most intricate and respectful ways to inhabit that place. We need to remember that. You're on indigenous land, original clans. Since beginning of man, countless years out on this land. Living so grand, alarm to commands. Intrinsic alarm, never disband.
Keep the applause glowing, please. That was Culture Evolves. Wow. Thank thank you so much to Brent, Dylan and Phil. I don't know about you guys, but I was standing there with goosebumps head to toe the whole time. Thank you to them for really what resonated with me there was what it said about protecting our culture, and that's the kind of thing that keeps our culture alive and strong, and just so great to see our culture represented through dance. So again, a big shout out and massive thank you to Culture Evolves. I would now like to welcome to the stage and introduce the Minister for Treaty and First Peoples, Natalie Hutchins, MP, to say a few words.
Thanks, Megan, and to Uncle Andrew Gardner for the warm welcome to country. And can I also acknowledge traditional owners of the land that we're celebrating on today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and also to extend that acknowledgement to all Aboriginal people that are here tonight and all elders that are joining us, and to those that are watching us on the live stream at home who couldn't make it in here tonight. Can I also acknowledge a few dignitaries that are with us tonight? My Parliamentary Secretary for First Peoples, Christine Cousins, who is joining us, Senator Jana Stewart, who is joining us, Parliamentary Secretary Sheena Watt, who is also here with us, past Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll inductees, the inductees of 2023, and all the families and friends that are supporting them here tonight. I promise you I'm not going to give a long speech because I reckon there's a few women in the room that would be wanting to use the ladies at some stage, and as a Minister for Women, I'm going to keep it short. To all the elders and community members who are attending, and before I continue any further, can I acknowledge two of the Honour Roll inductees who can't be with us tonight, who are sadly no longer with us, Annie Barbara Day and Annie Margaret Gardner. Thank you for all that you've done for community. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge the historical step that has happened this week, and that is the Wamba Wamba community, who have gained a reserved seat on the First Peoples Assembly and will be at the treaty table negotiating. Can I also make special acknowledgement of Annie Hazel Atkinson, who is also being inducted tonight, and to the other elders and her family and their families for the contribution that they've made in pivotal recognition. I also want to make another acknowledgement and to recognise the marking the second consent termination for native title for Eastern Maar people. This was fully supported by the government, and for those of you who don't know, that occurred on Thursday of this week. So can I congratulate all the Eastern Maar people for all of your work to be here. It's such a significant milestone. Now, to the Victorian Honour Roll. It's a one-of-a-kind award that celebrates the diverse and extraordinary achievements and contributions of Aboriginal people who have contributed not only to their own communities but to the wider Victorian community. And since its commencement in 2011, the Honour Roll has inducted 139 changemakers and leaders, with the goal to acknowledge and record and celebrate the various contributions and historic outstanding achievements of these people. The inductees have created significant change in their communities and throughout Victoria that have affected not just one generation but many generations. The inductees continue to shape culture through their contributions, helping Victorians to connect with the oldest living culture in the world. And everyone inducted tonight has made an immense contribution to Victoria, and I'm thrilled to recognise and celebrate the positive impact every single one of you have made. And I look forward to the next step in the journey, negotiating a first statewide treaty agreement here in Victoria. We're in an era of self-determination, of treaty making and of hard work. There's no doubt about that. I want to thank all the people that have put themselves out there for us to be at this stage of being at the table to negotiate later this year, because it took a lot of brave steps from a lot of people in this room to be where we are today, and I want to thank and honour you. We're truly thankful to hear the stories tonight of the individuals that we're going to honour. Their courage, their strength, their passion, and the love for the work that they do. So tonight's inductees will be either here on the stage accepting or represented by their families, and they'll be receiving a traditional shield, and for the men, the malga, and for the women, a wooden dish, the tarnuk, for the women as a memento of their induction. These incredible mementos and honour roll artwork has been created with love and pride by Mick Harding, a proud Tanarong artist. Can I thank Mick for his work with that? The inspiring stories of tonight's inductees will be added to the honour roll book, which, whilst it goes on display around Victoria from time to time, lives in Parliament House. Can I thank biographer Dr. Rebecca Lyons for helping share these incredible stories into the honour roll. And these individual stories are printed as part of the booklets that are on your table tonight. These biographies will also be published on the First Peoples State Relations website as well. Can I thank everyone for attending tonight, to our wonderful MC Megan, and really, honestly, just enjoy the night and savour the loved ones that you're with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister. We are about to break for mains, but Minister mentioned a little bit about the artefacts or the shields that our inductees are going to be presented with tonight. So I would like to just talk through a little bit about the design on behalf of Mick Harding, as he is not here with us this evening. The design on the artefacts is a reflection of the beautiful artwork that's seen in the honour roll booklets, which will be found on your tables. And with this, the concentrated line work represents the unique symbolism that is used by Aboriginal people to explain their connection to country. The wavy blue lines represent the ocean and inland waterways surrounding and that run through Victoria, and the subtle arcs that run through the water bodies represent, represent the importance to the connection to the land, sea and waterways. In a moment, we will break for delicious mains. During the meal, we will have a performance from James Henry, so he's going to come and take the stage. James is a highly sought-after composer and a sound designer known for his unique fusion of traditional Aboriginal and contemporary music genres. His skills have seen him compose for prestigious ensembles such as the Sydney Symphony Orchestra and the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. But just before we welcome James to the stage and before our meals are served, we will be playing a video of one of my favourite humans, Auntie Pam Pedersen, OAM, reflecting on her family, her achievements and her honour roll. This is the first video in a series highlighting the leadership and excellence of the inductees. So please gaze your eyes to the screens for this beautiful video of Auntie Pam.
9 or 10. Dad, he would go to various meetings, all different places, and he would take me. And so it started for me at a very early age, but I didn't realise that they were grooming me to follow in their footsteps. There is a statue of my parents, Pastor Sir Doug and Lady Nichols, because Mum and Dad, they fought for our Aboriginal people. When I left high school, I worked for Dad, who was with the Aborigines Advancement League. And then when I left working with Dad, I branched out. So I was very determined. I would go and get myself my own job. I went to the Victorian Aboriginal Legal Service. Then I worked for the Attorney General, Jim Cannon. And I worked for Morris Blackburn for 22 years. Information came out about the Koori Court starting up in 2005. I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go. And I love sitting on the courts. It's my passion to help our people.
I am just so thrilled to receive this award. Madam, stop crying. You made me cry too.
I actually had the pleasure of meeting Auntie Pam when I was working at Dame Phyllis Ross Centre. So Auntie Pam would come into the prison under the Elders program and do a lot of mentoring with the women.
I really enjoy speaking to the girls and sharing stories with them, help them culture-wise, and it just gives me a joy, puts a smile on my face.
When she comes in, I think she's the keeper of hope for a lot of the women. That environment can be really quite challenging for anyone to go into, but I've seen her given hugs through fences and taking her shoes off and walking the path with the women. Those women light up. I see them after the visits with Auntie Pam. They're walking tall. That's Auntie Pam.
Big round of applause for Auntie Pam. And there was no mention in that video of the inspiration that she is to the running community. She was just telling me yesterday that she was out and she'd gone for a 15-kilometre run, so that's certainly a lot better than I can do. I've struggled to get 5 kilometres, so we love you, Auntie Pam, and thank you for that beautiful video. I'm now going to invite James Henry up to the stage for the second part of our entertainment, and your main meals are just about to be served, so we will join back here shortly, so enjoy your meals and we'll see you soon. I can see that some of you are halfway through your meals. I hope that you have enjoyed your meals. They were absolutely delicious. It has now got to the point in the evening that we're all here for, the opportunity to honour our inductees. We will announce the name of each individual inductee and ask that the inductee or their family representative join us up here on stage to receive their award. I invite whoever that may be that's coming up to stage to say a few words. A short biography will play as each inductee is making their way up to the stage. I do want to make note, could I please get everybody's attention? Thank you. Thank you. I know there's lots of excitement, lots of yarns going on, which we love to see, but we will be having plenty of opportunities throughout the evening to have breaks. So when that happens, you've got lots of opportunity to come up onto the stage and take photos. I know there's lots of family members here to support each inductee, so plenty of opportunities for photos throughout the evening. I would now like to invite the Minister for Treaty and First Peoples, Natalie Hutchins, back to the stage to help me welcome the inductees to the Honour Roll. Thank you. Our first 2023 inductee into the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll is Auntie Barbara Day. As some of you may know, esteemed elder Auntie Barbara Day sadly passed away earlier this year. Tonight we are lucky to be able to hear from her directly in a short video where she was accepting her induction.
My name is Barbara Day. I'm a Yorta person, and I've done a lot of speeches, but I've just gone numb today, so please forgive me. Well, I've been born in Echuca. I lived here all my life. Meeting of the waters, that's what Echuca means. Yeah, I've got 8 children, 4 boys and 4 girls I have, and I'm never going to leave here. This is my home. Yeah, I am a Nernda health worker, so I do a lot of work for Nernda, and I'm proud of it. Oh yeah, I'm on the Koori courts. I go to Shepparton, anywhere, speak up for the Aboriginal elders, and I'm proud of it. but I haven't been called up lately because I think everyone must be doing good. I'm sure they are. Who's that?
You're singing.
Oh, did you have to bring that in? No, I am a singer, but I'm not going to sing. I would like to thank my grandson, Najik. He does a lot of speeches for me. Yeah, well, I'd like to thank all my family and friends that's been there for me. And with them, I couldn't do without them.
What a beautiful woman. I would just like to personally, from all of us, extend a very heartfelt love and sympathy to all of the family who are missing Auntie Barbara Day dearly. She mentioned her beautiful grandson, Najik Day Burns. He's here tonight to come up to the stage to accept this award on her behalf. So please welcome Najik Day Burns, Auntie Barbara's grandson, to the stage to receive her gift.
A respected elder, she was held in high esteem for her wisdom, cultural knowledge, and community service, and her generosity with her time and knowledge. She was one of the founding members of Nernda Aboriginal Corporation, where she was involved as a community member and director. She also worked as an Aboriginal health worker, specialising in hearing testing. After retiring, she continued volunteering at the Koori Court in Shepparton, advising the court and judges on cultural issues relating to offending behaviour. Christianity played an important part in Auntie Barbara's life, and her faith and her family helped her recover from the hardships she endured. She believed in the importance of maintaining strong culture and strong communities. In her later years, she continued to provide cultural support to the community through Welcome to Country ceremonies.
I'd just first and foremost like to pay my respects to my elders past and present, and especially everyone that I'm honoured to be here there's so much family here that I would like to, we'll all catch up soon. But yeah, for being here for my nan, it is something special that I just never thought that would come to this point. Like that clip there was four days later. We never thought she would be going to the dream time. And I've got my brothers with me at the moment, and because that's how she was. She always looked after us. She looked after community and everything else. I come from excuse my language. I come from a very strong line of warriors, women and males and that, and to be here today is like an honour for me, because it's just like our grandmother, like our grandfathers, everything else. We did everything else, and we made sure that we looked after our mob. We always take care of it. But I'll tell you now that my nan is so special, because she was my protector, and it was a matriarch or a queen that now has left us the role to stand up and chase, I guess, the Karachis, the monsters away. And it's bittersweet right now, because we never thought that 4 days later that she'd be gone. But she's in Dreamtime, and I'm so proud. And I think a lot of people have known our family and that sort of stuff, and we're all mob here and that sort of stuff, and I'm just like, my head is just. But I also like to pay my respects and give all the honour rolls, because there's a lot of aunts and uncles out here And I tell you now, it is something that makes me proud. It makes me a warrior. And that's what my nan taught me to be. Both of my nans and my grandmothers and my pops. And I've got my brothers here beside me because I didn't think I could sorry. Speak for it. But this is my nan, and yeah, it's so hard, sorry. But yeah. I love yous all. And you know what? Everyone else that comes up here, I've got a connection to, and we all have connections, and that's what we need to keep, because that was what my nan was about, and that's what Nan Barb was about. Like, she was stubborn, just like me, just like the rest of us, and yeah, hope yous all look after each other and have a good night. But yeah, it's really hard, like, to be up here. It's bittersweet. Thank you. And they're all going to find it.
Thank you, Najik, and thank you to your brothers, and your Auntie Barbara would be very, very proud. So thank you again for coming up here and taking that award on her behalf. Our next inductee into the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll is Uncle Glenn James OAM.
Uncle Glenn Robert James OAM is a proud Yorta Yorta man. From a young age, he showed sporting expertise in both cricket and football. At 22, he was drafted into the army. He served for 2 years in Vietnam as a sapper. He returned to sport after leaving the army, but a badly broken jaw prompted a shift towards umpiring. He officiated 166 VFL matches, including 2 grand finals, making him the first Indigenous umpire for this event. He later became president of the Victorian Football League Umpires Association. In 2023, he was named the Sir Doug Nicholls Round Honoree, further affirming his sporting prestige. He taught carpentry at Box Hill TAFE and Swinburne University. He is a respected elder on the Koori Children's Court and is a member of the Victorian Aboriginal Remembrance Committee, which is a testament to his commitment to the service of Aboriginal soldiers.
Welcome, Natalie.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Natalie Thierry. I'm a proud Yorta Yorta woman, and I'm Glenn's eldest daughter. Before I go on, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands we meet on tonight, the Wurundjeri people, and pay respect to elders past and present. Dad has asked me to read his statement of thanks on his behalf. I am very honoured and proud to receive this award tonight, and would like to thank my partner Jenny, my family, friends and community members who have supported me in the various roles I've experienced throughout my journey. For me, it's not about the accolades, it's always been about my people and my passion to improve the quality of life and opportunities for Aboriginals here in Victoria. It's been a privilege to have worked in community for over 3 decades, and I hope that I have played a small part in supporting, empowering, and encouraging all Aboriginal people, in particular our young people, to have resilience, strength, and determination to be the best person they can be and pave the way for future generations to come. I would like to congratulate the other inductees in the room tonight on their award and acknowledge previous inductees, in particular my grandfather, Thomas Shadrick James, my sister, Claire Garriso, and my niece, Cherie Waite. Yeah, thank you. As I've always said, don't let anyone or anything hold you back from doing the things you want in life. Be proud of your Aboriginality. Walk away from racism. Those people are not worthy of you. And at the end of the day, it's about being happy, enjoying life, and being a good person. And of course, it goes without saying, being deadly. Thank you.
Good,
thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to go in the middle.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you to Uncle Glenn James, OAM. There was a note in there. You certainly haven't played a small part. You've played an incredibly huge part, and you've left a massive, enormous legacy. So thank you for all of that you've done for the sport of AFL football. And I love that final message. It's about being happy, enjoying life, and being deadly. I'm going to remember that one for a long time to come. And a thank you to Natalie, Uncle Glenn's beautiful daughter, for speaking on his behalf. Our third inductee for the evening is Uncle Patrick Farrant Sr.
Uncle Patrick Farrant Sr. is a proud Wamba Wamba, Wati Wati, Mutti Mutti man. He has worked to serve and empower the Victorian Aboriginal community for over 40 years with a focus on health, social and emotional wellbeing, justice, youth and welfare. He has also provided support and cultural awareness training for Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal health workers in Koori and mainstream services. During his 10 years at Rumballara, he played a pivotal role in establishing innovative programs such as night patrols, sobering up centres, family group homes and outreach services. He later helped establish the Bunjalwarra Aboriginal Youth Drug and Alcohol Healing Service, where he currently serves as a cultural lead and co-manager. This reflects his ongoing dedication to intervention and the recovery journey of young Aboriginal Victorians. Uncle Pat's impacts extend beyond his professional achievements. Testimonials from colleagues and community members describe him as kind, generous, humble, and a source of wisdom.
And a big round of applause for Uncle Pat Farrant Sr. It is time to welcome our fourth inductee up to the stage, a woman who is so graceful and never seems to age, the ever beautiful, most amazing Auntie Lois Pillar.
Auntie Lois Pila AM has ancestral connections to Yorta Yorta, Wiradjuri and Wurundjeri people. As a young adult, she entertained the troops at the height of the Vietnam War, a story that became the subject of the acclaimed play and movie The Sapphires. She holds honorary doctorates from RMIT and La Trobe Universities and was Senior Victorian of the Year in 2017. In 2020, Auntie Lois was inducted into the Victorian Women's Honour Roll, and in 2022 she received the National NAIDOC Female Elder Award. Auntie Lois established Australia's first Aboriginal school, Warrawa Aboriginal College, with her late sister Auntie Hillis Maris. She was the school's principal and executive director for 13 years, and last year became Elder in Residence, a role that nurtures students' pride in Aboriginal identity.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we're on the lands of the Wurundjeri people, and I pay my respects to elders past and present. I'm honoured that my work has been acknowledged as worthy of being inducted into the Aboriginal Honour Roll. Let me say that I am blessed to be able to walk in the footsteps of leaders in my own family clan. In 1935, my auntie Hillis Briggs was a member of the Australian Aborigines League executive and played an important role when in 1939 residents of the Cumragunja Aboriginal Reserve walked away from the reserve in protest of the appalling conditions of the government-managed reserve and set up a camp on the Victorian side of the Murray River. It was here that my auntie Hillis, my sister Hillis's namesake, established a school under a bough shed for the Aboriginal children from Cumragunja who were not permitted to enter the Department of Education school at Barmah. At that time, government policy was that schooling for Aboriginal children was only to the 3rd grade. And with the ongoing threat of forced removal of children from their family. I want to talk about my mum's sister, Auntie Margaret Tucker, who was a member of the Australian Aborigines League and a participant in the Day of Mourning in 1938. She was made a member of the Order of the British Empire in 1968 and was the first Aboriginal woman to be appointed to the Victorian Aborigines Welfare Board and Australia's Ministry of Aboriginal Affairs. Auntie Marge was inducted into the Victorian Honour Roll of Women in 2001. My sister Hillis Morris, activist, poet, scriptwriter and educator, was inducted into the Victorian Honour Roll of Women in 2001. My mother, Geraldine Briggs, AO, was inducted into the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll in 2011. At Warrawa Aboriginal College, the school established by my sister Hillis, we have developed a history walk created to honour and highlight the achievements of all individuals that I call Aboriginal changemakers, each of whom has left an enduring legacy. And of course, there are many more. I pay tribute to those who turn the tide of history and injustice, who fought for self-determination and the rights of Aboriginal people and paved the way for us all today. I congratulate all who have been honoured this evening and who have been acknowledged for their contribution in advancing the rights of our Aboriginal community. Thank you all.
Big round of applause for Annie Lois Pila. Two of my nieces, quite a few years ago now, were fortunate enough to attend Warrawa Aboriginal college, and I was fortunate enough to head out there quite a few times and connect with Auntie Lois and just see the incredible education provided through that school. And it's such a beautiful, inspiring, but also an incredibly safe space for our mob to thrive. And yeah, just an incredible woman. When I grow up, I want to be like Auntie Lois Spieler. We will head away for a short break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. So another opportunity. I know that there are lots of family members in the room this evening. So if you wanted to come up on stage with your family and take a photo, this is an opportunity. Tiff is here to capture all of the special moments, and we will be back shortly to induct some more incredible honorees. I'd like to welcome back up to the stage Minister Hutchins to welcome our next incredible inductee. I'd like to ask Auntie Hazel Atkinson to join us up on the stage as she is our next inductee for the evening.
Auntie Hazel Atkinson is a descendant of Wamba Wamba, Barapa Barapa, Wiradjuri, Dja Dja Wurrung and Wagaya peoples. She is a proud mother, grandmother and great-grandmother. From an early age, she learnt the importance of fighting and caring for country, and she has been an advocate for native title, cultural heritage, health and housing for the Wamba Wamba people. She and her family developed an organic market garden and greenhouses which became a flourishing business. Through this, she was able to create employment and training opportunities for her community. She is also passionate in her activism for repatriation of cultural materials. Auntie Hazel remains steadfast in advocating for the recognition of the Wamba Wamba people and their allied nations. She represents her community on the Wamba Wamba Sovereign Elders Council alongside fellow elders. She has also served as the chairperson of the Wamba Wamba Local Aboriginal Land Council.
Welcome Auntie Hazel Atkinson to the stage.
Thank you and good evening to everyone. I came down from Swan Hill yesterday and I'm still a little bit tired. Bit of a journey. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to pay my respects to the people of the Kulin Nations. It is nice to be recognised and acknowledged for the work that we have done. I am a proud Wamba Wamba elder. I've dedicated the fighting for social justice and recognition for my family and my people. It's been a long journey. Still, we are fighting for recognition. We had a big win yesterday with the First Peoples Assembly. Go Wamba Wamba. Wamba Wamba has a seat at the table. I want to thank all those Assembly members for that recognition. There's two more items on our list. We want our RAP status. Yes, we do. And our native title, we won't rest until we get it. Yes. And native title, and we won't, yeah, I just said those words. I think it might have been a little bit too much firewater. Thank you. I want to thank Jason, my nephew, and Larry from Massa Briggs Lawyers for all their support in getting us this far. Stephanie Charles, my cousin who is standing beside me right now, and my dear cousin Caroline Briggs. And you know what, people? We was raised on Wamba Wamba country, born on Wamba Wamba country. Same age, we won't tell our age. Yes. All the support in getting us this far. I'm talking about our lawyer, my nephew, Jason Briggs. Stephanie Child, my cousin, I said that too. Like I said, too much firewater.
I like the recognition.
And my cousin, my dear cousin, Christine Donazzi. I know she's over there. She's been through some troubled times in her life. I love you, Christine, my dear cousin, for making the journey with me from Swan Hill to support me. And to my big sister, Louise. I love her so much. She's the one that's responsible for me being here tonight. I did not know that this was happening. I said to my big sister, Louise, what did you do, you know? That's her. That's what she does to me. And my beautiful niece, Luana Moore Austin. I know she's here. She worked in education for a lot of years, and I love her and thank her. I have my other niece, Wamba niece. We're all Wambas here tonight, for heaven's sake. Yeah. And my children, I had tragedy struck me quite a few years ago, and I don't want to talk too much about it, you know, and all I can say, you know, I've got one beautiful daughter left now, and she lives in Bendigo, my beautiful Stacey. She's the one that gave me all the beautiful grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And the only thing that got me through my life, through all the my tragedies, that shattered my life. And the only thing that I had to do was get back on track and do what I do best, and that was fighting for the rights of our people. And you know what, like I said, my beautiful cousin here, Caroline and I, born same day, and you know what I mean. You know, follow another story. And it was quite a journey for me, and but with our Wamba people, you know what, you know, I was raised on the riverbank in Swan Hill, you know, with our beautiful other families, and you know, but the fight still continues. I know that face over there, Giacomo said. Giacomo, love you, brother. And is that Esmo there? I love you, Esmo. I love your mother, Auntie Merle. You're the woman. She was so beautiful. I want to acknowledge that tonight too. And but the thing is, you know, people, the struggle still continues on. With our Wamba mob, we've got a new bridge coming through our country, and we will continue to fight that as a big issue. Another big issue is the cross-border issues. We have Aboriginal people, Wamba people across the other side of the river, and I worry about them. And but you know, we are going to get there because we are a people of fighters, and we will continue that fight. I'm getting on now, and but my mind goes back to all the yesterdays when I used to look up to people likes of Auntie Merle Jacomas, Uncle Alec Jacomas, Auntie Elizabeth Hoffman, and Auntie Geraldine Briggs, Margaret Wirrapunda. I miss them all, and they are the ones that paved the way. And I want to acknowledge all the elders that has passed away. But you know what I mean? Government needs to do more. Because I tell you what, there's a heap of issues still out there on country, out there in the bush area where I come from. and organisations need to come and visit our area, our countries. And, you know, everything's not okay at all. We have, you know, social issues, and which government, you know, you get the big federal government people, you know what I mean, and they talk about this and they talk about that. And not once have I seen Linda Burney come to our region. Yeah, I'll have a crack at her. You know what I mean. I've got the platform, haven't I? Yeah. And but you know, like I said, I just like to hope that government will listen to Aboriginal people in the bush area where I come from. And what I like to see is cross-border issues resolved. Wamba to us people. The Murray River is it doesn't divide our country. Right, Caroline? That's right. Wamba country is Victoria and New South Wales over the border. And there's our mob across the border as well that needs attention. And I think the treaty mob needs to get together and do something about that, you know. We need to do a treaty with the government over that side. But I don't know how that works, you know, because I don't see a treaty mob down in my part of the woods. I just hope my family back home on Wamba country is watching this tonight. And I love them very much. Like I said, we are threatened with a new bridge that could destroy our country, right where our mob is living on the riverbanks at Swan Hill. And with your fellows' support, you know, we need to stop that. I love you very much. And thank you for listening to my story. But there's so much I want to... Yeah. Yeah, my Wamba mob. Thank you. So what have I got here?
I think we should all raise a glass of our fire water and toast to Auntie Hazel Atkin. Too deadly, Auntie. Big round of applause for Auntie Hazel Atkinson. The next 2023 inductee into the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll is Uncle Alan Murray Sr.
Uncle Alan Murray Sr. is a proud Doodarowa, Yorta Yorta, Wamba Wamba man and is a deeply respected elder. He has been instrumental in the revival and reconnection of cultural practice and knowledge on Doodarowa land in Wodonga and across the High Country region. He has worked with the Department of Education and Training in Victoria, Wodonga Council and North East Water. He is a founding member of the Barraja Indigenous Cultural and Environmental Discovery Centre. He is highly regarded for his cultural knowledge and his passion for educating his family, the wider community, and importantly for him, the younger generation. A strong advocate for social justice, Uncle Alan has served on many advisory committees and leadership groups, challenging them on their participation in Aboriginal affairs and self-determination. Uncle Alan's legacy is a testament to his tireless work and commitment to helping create a safer place for his people.
Thank you. So, I'll get to that. So first of all, I'd like to thank the Wurundjeri people for hosting the event down in their country tonight, and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. Yeah, so like I was saying, I'm another Aboriginal boy. So, but I was born in Marupna. So we lived on Dash's paddock in Marupna. So after that, sort of mum and dad kept travelling around down the waterways until we landed in Barranal. And once we landed in Barranal, we had to stay outside of town for about 5 years near the bridge before we was let into town down on the mission. So that was back then, and after getting down the mish, and all the uncles and aunts down there accepted us in, and as we do, out the tip, scrounge around for tin and whatever to build a humpy, and it's what they done. They built a humpy for us. Then, after so many years, we moved up to Albury. Because work was starting to dry up, so I moved up to Albury to chase work. Ever since I moved to Albury, I've been a big fighter for education, Aboriginal affairs, that sort of stuff, teaching young ones and that, to step up, take the role, because you're the next leaders. So you're the next leaders. So that's what I'm about, is educating the young ones to step up and become leaders like we are. So I'm very humbled to be up here accepting this award, along with all the rest of the inductees. And I've worked with a lot of government agencies, and striking up partnerships and that with them, and it's fantastic, to get the recognition through them and saying, yep, we'll work with you. It's come a long way since I first moved to Albury, but that's what happens if you keep pushing that envelope, saying, hey, why aren't you talking to us? So we're here, we want to listen, we'll listen to you. How about striking up partnership? Because working together, you'll get better things, better outcomes. And that's what I'm about, getting better outcomes. So thank you.
Thank you to Uncle Alan Murray Sr. for everything that you do for community, for all the hard work and everything that goes into empowering our next generation. It's people like you leading the way that is making this world a better place for everyone that follows suit. And I would like to ask just for some quiet when the speeches are happening. It's a very important honour for people to be up here on stage, and so please just ask for the respect for quiet during the speeches. So with that said, I would now like to introduce our next inductee into the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll, and that is Auntie Linda Bamblett.
Auntie Linda Bamblett is a proud Bangarang Wiradjuri woman. She is dedicated to creating positive change through education, justice and community services. Her leadership and advocacy in these sectors have included roles in Aboriginal community-controlled organisations, government bodies, committees, boards and state-based forums. She has been a key member of the Aboriginal Justice Forum and has been instrumental in improving justice outcomes. She was also a founding member of the Yapara Children's Service, which provides culturally safe early childhood education for Aboriginal children. As CEO of the Victorian Aboriginal Community Services Association, also known as VACSEL, she has succeeded in creating career and leadership opportunities for Aboriginal staff. She is also passionate about sports, recognising its role in preserving and evolving Aboriginal culture. Auntie Linda envisions a future where treaty becomes the vehicle for true self-determination, a tangible reality that upholds the rights of Aboriginal Australians for generations to come.
I'm so short, I hope people can see me over this. I want to begin by acknowledging country. I want to thank Andrew for his warm welcome onto his country. Thank you very much. I want to acknowledge certainly Minister Hutchins, Natalie. She's always been my favourite Aboriginal Affairs Minister, Hannah. So I'm very, very pleased that she's come back to us. I'd like to acknowledge Yana, Sheena and certainly Christine tonight, and thank you for all that you do in government, you know, to keep the fight going. It's really an honour to be here tonight. I look out and I see so many amazing people and so many people who've done so much for the Aboriginal community, and I feel like a bit of a fraud, do you know what I mean? But and that, I probably need to acknowledge, you know, the words "we walk in the footsteps of giants" is so true. I need to, you know, acknowledge not only all the people who've gone before us and fought the hard fight, but I specifically want to acknowledge my siblings who've been previous inductees, Dr. Alf Bamblett, my gorgeous and beautiful sister, Dr. Mary Atkinson, and certainly my amazing sister, Dr. Geraldine Atkinson. One of these days I might become one. There are so many people to acknowledge. Like, I come from a large family. I'm the second youngest of 14 children. And so I certainly want to acknowledge my mother, Esmerella Lala Bamblett, nee Morgan, and my father, Alfred Bamblett, and that. I lost my father very early in my life, but I've heard wonderful stories about his generosity and his caring for community, and I think that's where the Bamblett mob get it from, to tell you the truth. But I think the strength comes from my mum. My mum was widowed very early. She's an amazing woman. What she has managed to do in a time, you know, when children were being taken, she managed to keep all of her children together and support them and their children, and that. She was a very unassuming woman, but you know, and if people know Auntie Lala Bamblett, you know that she's not, you know, never put herself forward or wasn't really out there, and that. There's a wonderful photo of her, Auntie Nugget, Uncle Doug, Auntie Geraldine, Auntie Velda Jackson, and that, when they went and met with ministers, really early stages about the conditions of our mob on Rumballara, because that's where we lived, and that, and then so we were able to come off Rumballara and move into towns, and that no longer fringe dwellers in our own country, and that. So like I say, she was an amazing woman. She was very caring, you know. Anybody could get a feed and a bed at my mum's house, and many did, and that. So I really want to thank her for that. I want to praise and thank the Lord, because I've been blessed with 3 amazing children, and 9 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, and these are my beautiful son, Ralph, and my grandson, Ralph Jr, and that. They've been named for an amazing man, Ralph Rex Atkinson, who stood in the stead of my dad and my sister June, who became my second mum, and that from my teenage years, and the integrity that that he operated under, and his caring and sharing were some of the things that he instilled in me. So I've been really blessed to have leadership. I've been blessed to have people in this audience, who've actually supported me and been guiding lights, just amazing. I saw my Auntie Pat Ockwell over there, and I'd absolutely love and adore that woman, and she's just taught me so much. Patty and I go way back, Andrew, of course, and that, Terry somewhere here, and that, so as I said, I've been really blessed. One of the things that I've always believed and thought is that we need to come at the issues and the resolutions and solutions for, we can't just say, government, you're doing it wrong, unless we say, this is what we should do. This is what we should do. We're the ones that have to bring forth the solutions and negotiate with government on behalf of our community. If we have that leadership role, that is our responsibility. And we have to come with that worldview. So it's not about my own backyard or my organisation, but it's actually about, the whole of the Victorian Aboriginal community. So that's been that's the place that I come from. And I'm just, I have to say, I'm just really, really honoured. I want to thank my daughter Georgia. I didn't know this, but she she was the one who nominated me, and I had no idea, absolutely none, and that, because I was going to actually sit on the panel, the judging panel, who I have to thank. I forgot to thank you, so thank you very much to the judging panel. But I was invited to sit on a judging panel, and I was like, yep, sure, no worries, I'll do it, and that. I didn't realise that I was a nominee, and that. So thank you to my beautiful daughter Georgia, my beautiful daughter June, who I hope over there, my gorgeous Emma Bamblett, and I'll put in a plug for Kinya Lurk, not that they need it, like she's this amazing artist, and that. Esme, she's like my sister's daughter, but she's my sister. So thank you, Esme, for being part of my life, and I just want to thank all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry, it would be really remiss of me not to mention my brother Lionel, who actually gave me this family tree necklace for my 60th birthday, and it's very special, and it's something about the roots of family that are so important to all of us, and that also community is part of family. Thank you.
Thank you to Auntie Linda Bamblett. I think that's certainly a common thread and a common theme within the room this evening is family, and as mob, nothing is more important. So again, thank you to Auntie Linda. Speaking of family, our next inductee is no longer with us. I would like to introduce Auntie Margaret Gardner's brother, Uncle Andrew Gardner, who we met before, to accept this induction on Auntie Margaret's behalf.
Auntie Margaret Gloria Gardner was a Wurundjeri Woiwurrung elder. Through her mother, the late Gloria Gardner, she had ancestral connections to Woiwurrung, Nure Ilamwurrung, Wamba Wamba, Barapa Barapa, Jar Jar Wurrung, Waywuru, Tonarong and Yorta Yorta clans. She is recognised for her fierce advocacy for social justice and passion for safeguarding and promoting Aboriginal cultural heritage. Her community leadership was acknowledged at a young age when she was awarded Miss NAIDOC in 1976. She continued this leadership throughout her life, working for decades in many Aboriginal corporations and organisations. She had vast genealogical knowledge of Aboriginal Victorians. She was a strong advocate for native title and used her knowledge to help traditional owners assert their rights over their country. Auntie Margaret is remembered as a strong human rights activist who fought to protect the cultural interests of Wurundjeri people and all Aboriginal Victorians.
We are now about to watch a video that her family have prepared for us. So thank you.
These conversations are happening for many years now, and some of the subject matters have been controversial, they've been informative, and the difficulty I think with them, and this is the only negative that I can see, is that we're not able to devote enough time to these particular subject matters. So forums that are able to talk about the subjects that you're here to listen to tonight and participate in are very important to Aboriginal people. Therefore, are important to the rest of the population of Australia. I often say that the Aboriginal people are the host culture. That is true. It won't ever change as long as we're here. My people are the traditional owners of the greater part of Melbourne. We've been here for millennia and we're going to remain here. We have a very good relationship with the City of Melbourne, and that has grown over many years. The City of Melbourne has a number of Indigenous staff and staff generally who are very supportive, who maintain a pretty high level of not just service but communication. And a conversation is about more than one person. It's about many people if possible, such as the gathering here this evening. There are a lot of things that Aboriginal people want to converse with everyone about. We're here tonight to talk about law, country and cultural heritage. I first got involved in cultural heritage way back in 1988. The Wurundjeri Council was a Schedule 1 body under the 1984 Commonwealth Heritage legislation at that point, and we had a custodial responsibility for country other than our own, because at the time there were no organisations that had established that were able to look after the cultural heritage of their people. So in their absence at the time, they were around, individuals were around, but there were no legal entities. We're sort of getting to the point now where if you don't have an incorporated body, you can't do anything. We have a book being launched later that talks about registering births and how important that is. Yes, it is important if you want to be counted. Aboriginal people have the right to vote. Oh, gee, since 1967. I was born and I was part of the Flora and Fauna Act. I try not to dwell on things like that too often because I at least had my mother and father with me. I knew who my family was, I knew who my people were, and I knew where my country was. Since then, of course, I've learning family history, got to know that I have many ancestors who had rights and interests in different country other than Wurundjeri country. Of that I'm very proud. And because of that, it has made me more determined to ensure that their rights and interests in their absence are heard and being met if possible. Hopefully that will happen in my lifetime. So I've been quite active in cultural heritage, maintaining the knowledge of country, particularly where the Wurundjeri people are concerned, because that's where I'm living. But that doesn't discount that I have connections to other tribes, other clans, because of my varied ancestry. We all have that, the Aboriginal community, and I think if you have more than 2 connections, I think you probably can count yourself rather lucky. Some people don't know that they have connection. They're still trying to find that out. Whose law is that? Is that our law or is that your law? Our law is about sharing. Our law is about maintaining family bonds and extended kinship networks, and that is something that the Aboriginal people of Australia have endeavoured to maintain over centuries. We need to have the freedom to preserve that. We need to have the freedom to have a voice. We need to have the freedom to conduct our law. We need to have the freedom to traverse our country. And we need to have the freedom to preserve our cultural heritage. City of Melbourne has been probably one of the better local governments in Victoria who have endeavoured to ensure that the Wurundjeri people are able to maintain the preservation of that cultural heritage. And you'll see some publications up there that honour and respect Aboriginal people, even if they actually don't come from here, but were brought here, died here, were buried here, but haven't been forgotten. And that's something that we need to think about across Australia. My name is Margaret Gardner of Wurundjeri Elder now. I was spokesperson for the Wurundjeri people after my aunt passed away back in 1988. And from that time to the mid-90s was a real awakening for me. It caused me to start really thinking about not just where we've come from and where we were at the time, but where we want to go. With your support, your ears, your ability to help us open doors, your care in helping us preserve what it is that we need to preserve, I think we can get somewhere much brighter in the future than where we are now. Thank you for your attendance. Waminjika Yemankundi Big Wurundjeri Balak, welcome to the land of the Wurundjeri people. We are part of the Kulin Nation, but we are the people responsible for the country here. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have an enjoyable evening.
It's always good to hear her voice again. You sort of you forget it, but then when you hear it again, it stays in there. A lot of real critical information there. In the booklet, it sort of says a lot more about what she sort of covered, but you know, she had, we do have, you know, apical ancestry connections with the Djadjurrung, Tongarong, Nguyalu-Murrung, as well as the Waibra in northeast Victoria, but primarily with Wurundjeri Wurrung. But there's supposed to be a slideshow that goes with it too. Are we going to play that or no? Okay, well, we'll let the slideshow go. I remember when she trained to be a long cane instructor for guide dogs after she left school. And she went to Adelaide for about 1.5 years, I think it was. And when she came back, she stayed with my auntie in Collingwood, Auntie Wincher. And she sought her independence there. So Dad helped her get her a VW wagon, little wagon. She drove around fiercely. But it was good to see her expand her horizons. But being Miss Nadok, I think, sort of brought a bit of a horizon to her because she got a trip to go to the Gold Coast, Coolangatta. So she was only supposed to be gone a weekend, but she was gone a whole week. So don't know really what she got up to. But it was good that she went and stayed with Auntie Wincher because we hadn't had that great a connection with her. She'd always been in Collingwood. But staying there, Mum always said she'll look after her. So she dropped in every now and then when she was at Guide Dogs and with a stray dog, the puppy, here, Andrew, take this. You need to, look after it and house train it and feed it and all that sort of stuff. Lots of people in the room have a good memory of Marg. You could hear in her voice there was this bit of tension she could always spit out. Sometimes it got a bit acidy, but most times it was very smooth. Yeah. It was good to hear her voice again. Thank you very much for tonight. Congratulate every other nominee tonight as well and inductee. Thank you.
Thank you to Uncle Andrew and, of course, Auntie Margaret. I don't know about all of you, but I am leaving this evening feeling incredibly inspired by every single inductee who has not only graced this stage tonight, but that we share this room with as well. We still have a few more inductees to welcome to the honour roll, but we are going to break away for some dessert now. Uncle Andrew mentioned about a slideshow, and there will be a beautiful slideshow of photos of Auntie Margaret that will play throughout dessert. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. I'd like to invite you to please take your seats. We've arrived at the final stages of the evening. We have 3 final very special inductees to welcome to the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll, so please take your seats. Thank you. Dessert is still subtly being delivered, and for those of you that have already had your dessert, I hope you enjoyed because it was delicious. We, as I mentioned, are now moving to the last stage of the evening, and we will be introducing the final 3 inductees. So to kick things off, the next inductee into the Victorian Honour Roll is Uncle John Brown.
Uncle John Russell Brown is a proud Wiradjuri and Dja Dja Wurrung man. His life story reflects his steadfast commitment to positive change and community service. For over a decade, he has worked as an Aboriginal community liaison officer with Victoria Police. He has contributed to improved safety outcomes by being a bridge between the Aboriginal community and law enforcement. He was recently the recipient of the Victoria Police Service Medal. This honour is awarded in recognition of sustained, diligent and ethical service. Dedicated to community building, he has served on the board of the Aboriginal Community Elders Services for 16 years, been president of Thornbury Basketball Club for 20 years, and has coordinated the Koori Basketball Carnivals with his wife Pam for over 15 years. Uncle John is also a talented photographer. His photos transport viewers to moments of joy, solidarity and cultural pride, and have featured in several public exhibitions.
You want to say something? I've got to say something. If you want to. I can take photos of you. I've never been up in this sort of position before, and I'm feeling a bit humble after listening to everyone else talking. Where do I start? I might get my daughter to talk. I'm not. Anyway, my daughter wrote all this, so if there's any spelling errors, it's her fault. My name's John Brown. I'm a proud and strong Wiradjuri Dja Dja Wurrung man. I grew up in a very politically active family. As you're probably aware of my uncles, Uncle Brucey, Uncle Joe, Uncle Johnny, Uncle Eric Onus and Uncle Bill Onus. But, they had everything over me. I don't know, I just feel a bit funny standing there, looking at everyone. I was told to look somewhere else when I'm talking, but I don't know. Yeah, Tracy told me, that's right. Yeah. Where am I? Just bear with me for a sec, I really am nervous. I've been working for the last 13 years as an ACLO with the Victoria Police, Aboriginal Community Liaison Officer. I'm currently based at Preston, but I do the Northern Metro area. I've lost my page. I provide advice to senior Aboriginal police members on local Aboriginal matters and encourage Aboriginal communities to engage with police. Like I work as an intermediary between the community and VicPol. 98% of the time it's pretty good, but things happen, of course. I've received the Police Service Medal for 13 years, whatever it is, 10 years. In my spare time, I'm an avid photographer, as you probably noticed. Probably taken a photo of you tonight and you don't even know it. I enjoy taking photos, preserves the moment. I did a photo exhibition last year at Fitzroy Town Hall, and quite a lot of people that went said, "Oh, that's my grandfather, that's my auntie," and quite a lot of people, what's that word? they felt honoured, that their families there. Cara, who's trying to take photos of me now, she's working on a photo album type book with myself and 3 other photographers, and it's going to be issued out to community members. I think there's about 1,000 copies or something, is it? Yeah. I'd like to thank my mob from turning up, close friends, and my daughter and my son-in-law. I don't know what else to say, but looking at everyone around here, I feel proud that I'm amongst you. And as I said before, listening to all the others talking, I was even thinking of taking off before. I was that nervous. Yeah. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get on with the night, eh? Yeah.
I hope I got a good photo for you. Here. Big round of applause for Uncle John. And for someone who was nervous, I think you did a fantastic job, so thank you. Our second last, but certainly not least, inductee into the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll is Auntie Terry Ann Stewart.
Terry Ann Stewart is a proud Taunarong woman who is dedicated to supporting and advocating for the Victorian Aboriginal community in contact with the justice and welfare systems. She has worked in the Victorian criminal justice system for over 35 years, including over 20 years in the Koori Courts. She has overseen the expansion of the County Koori Court in 7 locations across the state and has been instrumental in recruiting and supporting Aboriginal elders and respected persons to sit in the court. She has won many awards for her commitment to ensuring Aboriginal people's contact with the criminal justice system is fair and equitable. Throughout her career, Terry has helped to shape cultural reform in the Victorian criminal justice system and raise the understanding and respect of Victorian Aboriginal culture. She has made a lasting and positive impact on Aboriginal community members and their families who have had contact with the justice system.
Thank you. Like John, I'm a little bit nervous as well, but I'd like to commence by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands we meet on today, the Wurundjeri people, and I pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend that respect to all other elders and First Nations people in the room tonight. I stand here full of pride to have been recognised for the work I've done in the community over the last 35 years. I'm very honoured to have received this recognition. Thank you to my family and friends for nominating me and to those who selected me as a worthy recipient. I'd also like to congratulate the other inductees. I'm very honoured to be inducted into the Victorian Aboriginal Honours Roll alongside you all tonight. I've worked with our mob in the criminal justice system in a variety of roles for over 35 years in both community and government organisations. VALS as a client service officer, VAXAL or BWAYS as a youth worker, that was in my younger days, a bit old to run after those young ones now, and as an ALO at Melbourne Youth Justice and Parkville Youth Residential Centre. For the past 21 years, I've worked in the Koori Courts in both the magistrates and county court jurisdiction. It's something that I'm very passionate about. I'm very fortunate in this role to work alongside wonderful elders and respected persons, many of who are in the room tonight and many have been inducted in the past. I learn from my elders each and every day, They're part of my extended family. I also get to work with judicial officers and other Koori staff who are all committed to improving justice outcomes for our mob. More importantly, my role is to ensure that our people who are appearing before the courts are supported in a culturally safe and supportive environment, and that their voices and stories are heard. Finally, to my family who are here tonight, my two daughters, Amy and Nakara, and my son Jonathan, their partners, Aaron and Alex, my mum Margaret, who's at the table, my sister Prue, Dad and Jessica. I love you all very much, and thank you for your unwavering support over the years. I would not be able to do what I do without your support. Thank you.
Please, another big round of applause for Auntie Terry Ann Stewart. This brings us to our final inductee for the evening. So to introduce one last time to the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll for 2023, it's Uncle Andrew Jacamos, PSM.
Uncle Andrew Morgan Jacamos, PSM, is a proud Yorta Yorta man with direct heritage to the Gunditjmara, Tunnerong and Bowendick nations. He also has Greek heritage. Uncle Andrew has worked in the Commonwealth and Victorian government since the late 1970s, where he has been committed to values of self-determination and empowerment. He is passionate about community-led systemic change and structural reform. He has been recognised with a Public Service Medal and was appointed as both a Victorian and National Fellow of the Institute of Public Administration Australia. He has a passion for supporting and leading young Aboriginal public sector staff, many of whom now occupy senior executive roles across the Victorian Public Service and the Aboriginal community-controlled sector. In December 2023, Uncle Andrew became an inaugural member of the Treaty Authority, where he will support the negotiating parties in the state's historic treaty negotiations.
Thank you very much. It's good to see family and friends tonight, not just at the funeral. I was saying to friends earlier, I've been to a funeral every week for the past 10 weeks, and tonight is such a positive night. It's great to hear mob, family, friends laugh, enjoy, celebrate, and I feel emotional about it because we can't just keep on having funerals without ensuring that we break them with celebrations. Firstly, more power to the Wamba Wamba for your justified success, for taking your seat at the Assembly. Go Auntie Helen. It's an immense honour to be on the same platform as Auntie Helen, Patrick Fallon, and all the other awardees. Such a great honour. I just want to say, I'm not Wamba Wamba, I'm not from Balranald. I'm Yorta Yorta and I'm Gunditjmara. And I'm proud of it. Now we can move on to the rest of the speech. As a proud Yorta Yorta Gunditjmara man, I acknowledge the traditional owners, their elders, past and present, all elders here tonight, and all good people. And you wouldn't be here if you weren't a good people. You weren't a good person. So every one of you, I thank you for being part of our community. Wherever your heritage is from, you're part of our celebrations. And you all look so beautiful. There was, can I say, coming in here, on the invite coming in here, it said formal, dinner, cocktail dress or somewhere. And someone called me and said, "Are you wearing a tie tonight?" And this is one of the organisers. I said, "Come on, you sent the invite." Anyway, I acknowledge my ancestors, including my beautiful parents, Alec and Merle, the best role models one can have, and I miss them each and every day. Mum was an inductee into the honour roll in 2011, and my second mother, Auntie Liz Morgan, was soon thereafter, and I'm honoured to follow in their footsteps. Mum and Dad were my North Stars, always was, always will be. And I wouldn't have achieved this recognition without the opportunity to work with some of the best and committed fellow workers and community members over the past 55 years, many who are here tonight. Mentioned my work in government. My first job was at Lake Tyres on youth camps in the late 60s, about 67, 68. That's when I started working, and my first job in community was in the early 70s as a field officer at the Aboriginal Advancement League. So, I can say I learnt my early schools from working in community and then graduated on. And today, being one of the 5 treaty members, with my fellow treaty member, Dewey White, here, up the back there, we look forward to working with traditional owners and government to make it happen, to make treaty happen over the next couple of years, and I'm so proud of that. I honour the honour roll judges for your kind consideration, and I'm humbled by your selection as I am being selected with such fantastic awardees tonight. It's been an honour to serve our community, and I look forward to doing so. But I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank the organisers and the young people, particularly young people, who made tonight happen, who did the organising, who followed up about guests, and I think we need to put our hands together for those young people who made tonight such a fantastic success. I spent over 20 years working in justice and as the Children's Commissioner for Koori Kids. And a part of my time there, I saw the highs and lows of broader society. I'd just like to say that I commend my award in the memory and the life and tribulations of the late Russell Moore. I just wish we could have brought him home earlier. And yes, Minister, respectfully, Bunjawara for young women is absolutely a key critical thing that we need to do. And also, in closing, might finish. One last thing. I'd just like to thank James Henry for his fantastic music. How tough is it a gig to try and play with mobs celebrating such a good night? Yeah, and he's such a, it's not only because he's got Yorta blood and he's a great singer and, we take that for granted, but he's just a great guy. So put your hands together for James Henry. And I'd just like to thank my daughters, my sister, Esme, Esimina, Naida, and my beautiful wife, Luciani. Gee, I would have been in trouble. I got a mixture of Greek and Korean. I like a bit of life, and these people keep me on the straight and narrow. Thank you very much.
Please join me in putting your hands together one last time for Uncle Andrew Morgan. Please keep the round of applause going for our Minister, Natalie Hutchins MP, as well. I know I said this already before, and I think Auntie Terry Ann said it best. I'm learning every day from our elders, which was what she said, but I would have to agree. I feel so completely inspired walking away from this event. Our inductees tonight have certainly paved the path for us, and just another massive round of applause to our 11 inductees to the Aboriginal Honour Roll. Unfortunately, we don't have time to list all of their achievements tonight, so I do encourage you to take some time to have a read through their inspirational stories, which are contained in the Victorian Aboriginal Honour Roll commemorative booklet that you've all got on your tables to take home with you. Please follow the First Peoples State Relations Facebook page for updates and openings of nominations for the next Honour Roll nomination round. I want to say a special thank you to all of you for taking the time out to be here to celebrate your family and your friends tonight. It's been a really special evening to share together. There are going to still be plenty of opportunities for photos. We've got Tiff, our photographer, here. So if anyone would like to come up onto the stage to take photos with the family, now's the time. Our amazing DJ is going to be back playing some tunes for about the next half an hour. I would like to encourage you as well to make sure that you take home the flowers and the vases on the tables, as well as all of your gifts. You all get one. That is all from me. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Get home safe.